I'm ready to ditch him though.
All right, with it being 6:30, we'll go ahead and officially call the meeting to order. Has the meeting been properly posted and the roll been taken?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 2 is the Pledge of Allegiance, and will remain standing for the prayer from Alderman Solis. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We ask you humbly in this evening that you bless us. We've gathered with the purpose of doing the right things for this city. We ask you that you guide us and that our decisions are made with our hearts, and that you give us the knowledge to understand what we're doing for the better good of this beautiful city. We ask you in your holy Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Item number 3 is approval of the minutes of the April 20th, 2021 meeting. If there's no additions or corrections, I'd go ahead and entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
so move.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 4 is communications. I wanted to begin by welcoming our new city administrator, Brian Wilson, to his first official city council meeting. Welcome, Brian, and
Welcome.
those of you that haven't had an opportunity to meet Brian, so you will. Been on the job officially for 3 weeks now and doing a great job. So thanks, Brian. Also, under communications, we've got Mr. Leonard on. Maybe I'll let you go first if you want to step up to the podium and talk about our upcoming Memorial Day activities.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you. Can I take this off?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to talk a little bit about Memorial Day this evening. First of all, back in 1866, Mary Ann Wilson formed a league called the Women's Memorial Association in Columbus, Georgia. The women would gather once a year, their rakes, their flowers, their prayers, and their words of memory of their loved ones who died during the Civil War. But over this years, that parade grew and grew. It got to the point where it was more than just family and friends. The whole community got involved. And as we continued through the years, our whole nation got involved. We would like to keep that tradition going here in Delavan. And we would like to make sure that we have civic involvement in our Memorial Day. The American Legion Post Delavan 95 would like to extend an invitation to all of you city officials to join us on Memorial Day in the parade. Join us at the cemetery when we have prayers, words of memorial, and tributes to those who have passed on, died during wars, and served our country, making our country what it is today. Now, we do have a convertible car available, courtesy of who's. And so we've got enough room for the mayor. Frank does have his privilege, right? And 3 of the members of the city council. Now, if anyone who is capable and up to walking a mile to the cemetery and back can also join us if you'd like to walk alongside the car. But we really appreciate your involvement, and we're looking forward to getting the city officials involved again once in our Memorial Day ceremonies. Now, our memorial ceremonies, we have to keep one thing in mind. It is a somber parade. It's a parade that is not like our 4th of July where we throw out candy. It's more of a somber event, and it's meant to honor our war dead. And another matter that I'd like to bring up before I forget is this year we'd like to add to our Memorial Day parade some horses. One is a white stallion. It is a riderless stallion, which have the boots of the commanders on backwards riding in the parade. And before I give the go-ahead for the people that bring these horses in, I'd like to make sure that's okay with the city council that we have horses walking down the streets on Memorial Day. Now, the people said that they would have people walking alongside the horses that would clean up after the horses if they do what horses normally do when they walk down the road. So that would be taken care of. Right? So if you have any questions on Memorial Day, we hope you join us, and we're looking forward to you being there.
Thank you, Mr. Hahn. And I would just say that much of the council is new coming in last year, and we've got a new alderman who's on virtual with us this evening. And, you know, obviously with a lot of things that happened last year, things weren't able to take place. And one of them was this wonderful traditional observance of Memorial Day, which the Legion has done a great job. And I know as an alderman, I had a lot of opportunities over the years to participate in the parade, and I would strongly encourage that if you're around, I know other things going on, it is a holiday, but it's an important observance, and I think it's a great showing that if we can get as many city council people, and if we've got the entire council, then I'd be willing to, which we've also done in the past, collectively walk if that makes sense, all of us, and we would be, you could use the convertible for maybe another veteran who's not able to or what have you. But I appreciate you being here, Mr. Hahn, and explaining the importance, and I'm glad that we can get back to a traditional observance. So keep that in mind if you're around and can participate, and thank you very much for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Also, was there any other, I don't know if there was any questions for Mr. Hahn, but again, we can talk more about that and see what makes sense collectively as the council. Also under communications, I've asked the Boys and Girls Club of Walworth County to give a little presentation. So we've got Jake Brown and Nathan Mars here to kind of talk a little bit about some of the things that they've been working on and some of the revampedness of the organization. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the time. Appreciate you having us. So my name is Jake Brown. I'm with Boys and Girls Clubs of Walworth County. I've been working for Boys and Girls Clubs for about 12 years and worked in a lot of communities, both rural and suburban. And I'm proud to be part of the newly revamped, as the mayor said, Boys and Girls Clubs of Walworth County. So at a very high level, just so people understand what we do, is that Boys and Girls Club continually commits themselves to kids and to families who may not have the same support system as other people in the community. So that can often look like an after-school program, which a lot of our Boys and Girls Clubs are. It could look like a high school dropout prevention program, which we currently run in Walworth. Or it could look like community services and meal-to-go free programs as well. So we come into communities like Walworth County, like anywhere we feel that there is some need, and we want to find the local concerns and issues that people have so we can come up with local solutions. So just a little bit about Boys and Girls Club of Walworth County since we kind of revamped the program in September. So we have hosted, and I'll mind you, this is all with one local employee, Ethan, so kudos to him. But we've hosted 5 community events and participated in 3 other partner events. We've partnered with 9 other separate community organizations, including United Way. We've recruited over 13 volunteers for these programs. We've enrolled 21 middle school students who are not on track to graduate in our dropout prevention program. We've engaged 128 students in STEM-related activities at Phoenix Middle School, which includes handing out free microscopes and learning to code programming. We've provided over 191 free meals, feeding 613 residents of Walworth County. We've donated 175 containers of masks and bottles of hand sanitizer to families without access. We've distributed over 1,200 free books to local youth during the Let It Glow United Way event. So Ethan now is going to talk a little bit about our Be Great Graduate programming, and then I'll talk about our community efforts.
So I run the Be Great Graduate program at Phoenix Middle School. As Jake said, it's a dropout prevention program. I currently have 21 students, and how that works is I get a recommendation from the school district of a student who should join based on factors such as behavior, grades, and attendance. What we hope to provide, the students get to stay in the program until they graduate high school. So we follow them all the way from 6th, 7th, 8th grade until they graduate. What we want to provide is just that support in the school. The school already does a great job of supporting students, but we want to be that extra support for those students who really need it the most. I just have so many examples of students who, when they come into the room for their B grade graduate meeting, they're just really happy because they get to meet with me, which that sounds a little egotistical, but they get to meet with me and they get to have fun at school while working on schoolwork, right? They get to form that relationship with someone they know they're gonna stay with until they graduate high school. And this program has worked wonders in a lot of these kids' lives. Students who went from straight Fs to passing all of their classes but one, but hopefully this trimester, every single class. Behavioral problems have again gone down in many of the students. Just some stats, we've had 65% of students increase their math grades, 59% have increased their language arts grades, and then 67% of students saw an overall average grade increase and had a behavioral problem decrease. So that's what B grade graduate is, and we just love being in the school district.
So for the community events, we try to host one for every kind of the major holidays, things going on. So last fall, we did a, basically kind of emulate a day at Pumpkin Patch, right? So we did a fall festival free for families that could pick up a meal, attend, pick a pumpkin, carve it, take it home. We did the same thing for Thanksgiving. We gave away full free Thanksgiving meals in a drive-through event at Phoenix Middle School. We did the same thing for Christmas and the holidays, including every kid in our program went home with more than one gift. We did the same thing for Easter. We just did a meal giveaway for Easter meals, ham, again, all the sides and fixings. And then every other month, we try to do a program called Meals to Go, which is basically families can come and get 2 giant 5-person meals that are just taken baked, ready to go. And those are free access to families as well. We've been trying to do them at different locations. We've done them in Lake Geneva, we've done them in Elkhorn, we've done several at Phoenix Middle School. Just making sure that if any families or people in the community who don't have access can still have accessibility to that. And then additionally, we're also working with public health, working on getting vaccinations up as well. We hope to be partner hosting with public health and the school district to do a vaccination clinic at Phoenix Middle School here coming up. And then additionally, looking towards summer, our goal for our 21 students is to make sure that they have a plan for summer. So every kid, whether it's they're interested in getting their first job, working on resumes, making sure they have enrolled in summer care, they have some type of activities to do to keep them busy, right? Because we all know that summer learning loss is real if we don't have structured engagement for some of our youth. The last 2 things I want to talk about is that we've also built a local board. I've done this at other clubs that I've worked at in the past. We are very interested in local opinions and people who have kind of their finger on the pulse of local communities. So we've begun to build a local board. We have currently four people on our board right now, looking to recruit more, just to whoever is engaged in getting youth involved and creating more opportunities. That's what we're here for. So again, that's one of the asks that we kind of have. We just want to get our word out about what we're currently doing. And secondly, we got a golf outing coming up. So if you have any golfers, it's June 12th at Delbrook. We're very excited. Got some teams lined up and some sponsorships, but just an opportunity again for us to share with the community of what we're doing, and every dollar more that we raise and every more person that we have in with our mission, we can help more kids. So again, I just want to end and thank you for your time. Our mission is Boys and Girls Club. We're here to inspire and empower all kids, but the most important part is that we do it for kids who need us the most. So if you have any recommendations, connections that we should make, Ethan and I are always happy to follow up, meet people, know other connections in the community. It's just really important to us. So thank you for your time. If you don't have any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you, Jake and Ethan. I know I've had an opportunity to meet with both of you. A couple of us have heard the presentation through our Lions Club, and I thought it was important to invite you here so that others in the community can, if they weren't already aware, and I know many are, could become more aware of some of the changes and some of the events. And I think it's a great partnership. The school has hosted, I mean, you said it's Walworth County, it's throughout, and that's important, but a lot of the immediate services and programming are done right here in our community. So as other events go on, please let us know in the city so we can help promote the wonderful work that you're doing.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Item number 5 is public comments at this time. Citizens may address the chair at this point of meeting. Please limit your comments to things that are on the agenda, this portion of the agenda, for no more than 3 minutes. Is there anyone that wishes to speak? Not seeing or hearing any, so we'll move on to item number 6, which is reports of committees, boards, commissions, and the Delavanerian School District. 6.1 is Finance Committee and the Treasurer's Report. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee met on May 11th at 5 o'clock. Our next meeting will be June 8th at 5. There are a couple items on tonight's agenda. The minutes of the meeting are on file with the city clerk for public inspection. At this time, I would make a motion to approve the Treasurer's Report.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 6.2 is general operations. Alderman Wilson.
We did not meet in the month of May, we'll meet again in June. You're welcome to attend.
Thank you,
Sure
Alderman.
the date.
June 1st. It's looking good. Yeah. Thank you, Alderman Wilson. Item 6.3 is Planning Commission. Alderman Easer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning Commission met May 3rd. The next meeting is Monday, June 7th at 5 p.m. Everybody is welcome. If you have any interest in reviewing the minutes, they're on file with the city clerk. Please take a look. We have, I believe, one item on the agenda a little later on for us to review.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. 6.4 is Public Works. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Public Works met on April 27th at 5:30. The items that were discussed at that meeting are on today's agenda. Our next meeting is May 25th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Brand. 6.5 is Town of Delavan Lake Committee. Alderman Beazer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I attended the Town of Delavan Lake Committee for the first time, and it was really enlightening just to understand what was going on at the town level. They did have a presentation by Baxter and Woodman to present 4 options for dredging of the lake Delavan. And they did make a recommendation to move forward with option 4. I brought that with the entire packet, and I'll leave that on file with the city clerk so that we have access to it and we can review that. They made the recommendation to the town board for approval, and I do not know if that has gone through yet.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Moving on to item 6.6 is Library Board of Trustees. Alderwoman Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Library Board of Trustees has not met since our last council meeting. Our next meeting is this Thursday, right here at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Brand. Item 6.7 is Parks and Recreation Commission. Alderman Purcell.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. The next meeting is going to be the 24th of end of this month, but we did go through a few things. Park and Rec, we're definitely in need of lifeguards. So if anyone knows anyone who wants to be a lifeguard, we gotta get that going. We're also looking for volunteers for the Muddy Adventure Mud Run. And then also the Downhill Derby, we'll need volunteers for that. But there's a whole bunch of stuff on the site if you want to go through it. We got softball, baseball, we got everything going on. The kickoff of summer will be June 11th at Phoenix Park from 6 to 8. That will be the Muddy Run, downhill, movies, park in the, be movies in the park. The July 4th parade, fireworks. Parade starts at 3. Fireworks are at 9. The band Phoenix starting at 5. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And they've really been working really hard at Park and Rec to get everything going this year due to everything we've had. So I do give him credit for really pushing it, so.
Thank you, Alderman Purcell. Item 6.8 is Communications Commission, Alderman Solis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Communications Committee met May 10. We reviewed proposals for the new city website. We got a total of 19 proposals, which we narrowed down to 4 different companies that we're going to be looking at. We're going to be revising those proposals on a special meeting scheduled on Monday, June 14 at 5:30. Which is going to be our next meeting, and we invite anybody who wants to join us and give their input. That'd be great.
Great, thank you, Alderman Solis. Item 6.9 is the Delavan Downtown Project Management Team, Alderwoman Deshner Brand.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met on April 27th at 7 o'clock. We talked about how the Delavanerian School District approved a 3-year agreement for use of kayaks. That's on tonight's agenda. We also discussed upcoming downtown events, which includes the one this Saturday, the Wine Walk, which is led in by the Lions Club, hosting 2 bands and some activities downtown. So hopefully we can make it up for that. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. And Brick Street Day is coming up as well on Saturday, June 19th. So mark your calendars for that. Next meeting is May 25th at 7 o'clock.
Thank you, Alderwoman Deshner Brand. Moving on to item 6.10 is the Delbrook Golf Commission, Alderman Purcell.
I have not been in that meeting yet.
Okay.
That will be coming up tomorrow, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
May 20th.
Yep.
On Thursday.
Sorry about that, but I'll have something next month.
That sounds good. All right. Item 6.11 is the Tourism Commission, Alderman Solis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Tourism Commission met on Friday, April 23rd. Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 26th at 8:30. In the meeting that we had, we discussed, we brought up the current update. There's a sports comp that's being studied and looked at. If that's something that's here in the city, I think that's very exciting to look into, and hopefully that the study finds that Delavan definitely is a home for a sports complex. I think that will bring a lot of tourism and a lot of different opportunities for Delavan. We also met our new administrator for Visit Delavan, County Visitors Bureau, Tim Melnock, who currently has joined. And he's kind of given us an update a little bit about his background, and so we're excited to have him on the team. We also are looking. We talked about having a follow-up meeting to a workshop we had in the winter to identify the roles of different business partners with the Tourism Commission, the Chamber of Commerce, and Visit Delavan, and all of them. We agreed that at this point, because there's changes in administration and different entities, that we're going to wait till we have everybody in play. We're going to be having probably a new administrator sometime in the Chamber of Commerce. So once we got everybody in their positions, then we would meet again to identify what roles they should be playing so that we can make Delavan function like a well-oiled machine. That's it. Now the minutes are on file with the clerk. If anyone wants to look at it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alderman Solis. Item 6.12 is Delavanerian School District update. Dr. Jill Sorby.
Good evening, everyone. And nice to have you on the council, or as our Administrator Brian. Apologize for not being here last month. I want to give you an update on several things. So first one is we are going to, as the Boys and Girls Club that shared, we are going to have a COVID clinic. I believe our school nurse has arranged for that to be on June 2nd, but more information will come out on that in the coming days on that. Second of all, I'm quite proud of the district to accomplish this school year. It has been challenging by any stretch for any school that's been face-to-face, and we have accomplished it. If you would have asked me back in August if we would be able to say that we would be in school every day throughout the whole year, and we accomplished it. And I'm proud of the students, I'm proud of the staff and administration for that, and the families. The next thing I want to share with you is about 4 months ago, we wrote a grant with the Department of Justice We just received notice on that in the last month that we received $150,000. It's a mental health grant. It is to assist our students and families with mental health. This is a very important topic. In addition to that, we have partnered about 2 months ago with State Line Mental Health, which is a company out of Rock County that will come in, will be their first school in Walworth County that they will come in and support. Basically, they bring in therapy counselors to work with students. It's a lot different than school counselors, their role and how they work with families. They bill the insurance directly for those families. The grant money that we receive will be twofold. It will be there to support families that don't have insurance and need that mental health help. And so we will offset those costs within the grant money to still support those students and families. And so it's not just for the students, it's a whole wraparound care program that is there for not only the children, but for their families, and do family functional therapy with them too. In addition to that, we're going to hire an outreach coordinator, a social worker with a bachelor's degree to assist in that capacity to get that mental health help that we need so desperately for not only our students, but the families in entirety. That's the one thing that you will see broadly across our country this year, is that COVID has brought out more mental health concerns with all families, all adults. It's just, it's across the nation right now. It's a travesty. So we're excited to have that partnership with State Line Mental Health. And going to that, obviously you've recently heard about the recent tragedy of a senior. Our hearts go out to that family. Our hearts go out to my staff who knew that child. And my heart goes out to the children that knew that child as well. We are all mourning. It's very hard. And I just want to give everyone in the community a word of caution that not everything is as it appears, because the district must take into consideration that the child was a minor, and I'm only able to say so much. So I say that is just a word of caution in what you read in here. And just to react to that a little bit, there are some special programs that we started in 2019. One of them was called the Stop It app. It's an anonymous reporting tool that our students can use to report anything, any concern that they have. So they can access it on their phone, they can access it on their Chromebook. And in the last 2 years, we've seen a number of reports come in, not necessarily always just for bullying. So take that into consideration. It could be about a child's behaviors, the child's dress code. Someone wanted to report that they thought they saw something that they wanted to let somebody know. They'll report on social media things that they thought were unfair or said incorrectly. So it's just a way for them to anonymously communicate their feelings and what they hear or see. In addition to that, our second program that we added a couple years ago, along with most of the surrounding high schools in the area, it's called Hope Squad. It's a suicide prevention program that our staff, some of our staff, and some of the students that were peer selected. That's the important part, is that the student body selected those students to be trained, and those families went for that training. The student and their parent went for that training so they would be able to identify the symptoms of students that show depression and or suicidal tendencies or concerns, and be able to identify those to an adult in the community, in our school district, and be able to get the necessary supports there for them. So I want to share that all of those pieces are in our system and have been in our system for several years to support our youth. I'm very proud of our staff. There's a lot of outreach that goes to those young ladies and gentlemen and what they need as they grow older and getting that direct support. So on a different note, moving in a different direction, summer camps are exciting. We've got lots of them going on. We do have some extra lifeguards, so I would reach out to our swim coach, Lauren Gerholt. She had 10 of them originally on the list, and I told her she had to narrow it down to 6. So there are 4 more, Tommy, that you could probably pull off and bring into Park and Rec. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. The next thing is on Thursday morning, we have a board meeting to approve the agreement with Walcomat. You may have heard this in this community that Walcomat has an easement on our western part of our property line that goes between Turtle Creek Road and Highway 11 here, no, 14, what is this road here, 14? you know how you always just know the road that you're supposed to turn, you can't remember the name of it. So they have currently a 30-foot easement that goes along our property edge for a main force line. And they're going to need an extra 15 feet because they are putting in a 36-inch pipe to expand in the area of Darien, to my understanding. And so we have negotiated and we've come to an agreement on that. And I'm proud to say that that partnership is strong between us and Welcome At. So that will be agreed upon and they will start that work and finish it this summer while we are doing our work on the stadium as well. So then my last couple things are more facility generated. You obviously probably have seen the new beautiful blue siding that is on the outside of the high school. That is in response to many of the local community members that have said that the high school needed kind of a little facelift. And so responding to that and trying to say, we do. You know, it was a 1960s, 70s building there and it needed some work. And so we've taken that upon and that came out of our regular buildings and grounds funding. So it's not a special, it wasn't part of the referendum. It's in our normal buildings and grounds 5-year plan. We have a 5-year plan that we do in working with the buildings and grounds director. And the last piece is the stadium. Obviously, they've started groundbreaking. We'll have an official groundbreaking ceremony in the upcoming couple weeks. Had to just reschedule that for another matter, but the project is on track to be completed by its completion date, which was always set for mid-October. We will be able to get some games in and have some fall sports there offered. The total project, it will be accomplished. So that includes a new team rooms, concessions, bathrooms, building. It will, in storage area, it will include a new turf multi-purpose complex for soccer and football. It will include a whole new track, widening the surface so soccer can fit on there. I always felt that that was a problem for me personally because I'm a big soccer fan along with football, but a big soccer fan, and I felt that it was an equity issue that they were having to go all the way over to the other side of the field, and we should have them all in the same place, especially when it's close to the bathrooms. It will also include new tennis courts. Funny story here is that in looking in some of the historical papers, that tennis court cracked within 2 years of it being installed in the 1960s. What I have found out since then is that we did some soil borings and there's organic materials underneath the tennis courts, which has caused settling, and with settling obviously comes cracking. So that is something that we've made sure with sheer construction that we will be paying attention to. What is the soil consistency before we lay down the new tennis configuration? And that, you know, kind of is and then we'll redo some of the practice field over there on the far side. New sound system, new press box, and the actual stadium seating itself will have serious improvements with adding a touch of Comet Pride in there too. So that is the scope of the work that will be finished by mid-October, right on time.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you
Thanks
for
that
letting me
update.
speak this evening. Yes, absolutely. Apologize I didn't get it to you in print.
No worries. Thanks again. We'll move on to item 7.1, which is consider request for a conditional use permit for a personal or professional service commercial indoor land use at 1442 East Geneva Street in the Business Regional BR zoning district with a wellhead protection overlay. Applicant Yankish Zen Management Group. This came before the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed resolution and the conditional use findings listed below under conditional use findings and issuance of a conditional use permit for personal or professional service commercial indoor land use for the property at 1442 East Geneva Street, located in the Business Regional BR zoning district with a wellhead protection overlay to the applicant Yen Wash for the Zen Management Group, subject to the conditions of approval listed below under conditions of approval, including any additions as may be identified by the Planning Commission and Common Council.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. There was a motion. any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
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 Same sign, motion passes. Item number 8 is under Finance Committee. 8.1 is approval of the bills, warrant 21-04.
Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion to approve the payment of bills.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Item 8.2 is consider resolution declaring certain fire department properties surplus.
And this also came to the Finance Committee. So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the proposed resolution declaring certain fire department property as surplus.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Other business under 9.1 is consider a resolution establishing a sanitary sewer usage credit procedure. Wants to maybe take this one, it came both before Public Works and the Finance.
Yep, so this would allow for the sewer credit if there was a one-time leak or a similar unintended usage that does not result in discharge of water into the sanitary sewer system. So I would make a motion to adopt the formal policy resolution allowing for sanitary sewer credit for certain unique situations.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion? I just would quickly say on this one, as someone that served as alderman, I know others have gotten probably a few of these requests. I definitely came across it over the years. And it was, very unique circumstances, and there never seemed to be a real procedure in place to address these unique circumstances and any kind of a recourse for our citizens to look for some sort of a credit that was entirely out of their hands. So I really want to thank, this is one of the last things that after being approached about it, that I took to our city administrator, Denise Browning. Ryan Wilson took it from there as well as staff, taking it and finding examples that other communities have used, again, in very unique circumstances. And I think it actually gives our citizens a better tool that they didn't have in the past. So I appreciate staff and the committees that got it to this point. And I don't know if there's any other discussion, but there was a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 9.2 is consider the approval of the intergovernmental agreement for usage of school district-owned equipment with the Delavanerian School District for use of kayaks for Delavan paddle sports program.
Do you want me to talk on this?
Sure.
All right, so this did come through downtown project management team. Like I said, this would allow for the reestablishment of an agreement with the school district for the use of the district's kayaks by the city for rental during the summer months, which is awesome. So I would move to approve the intergovernmental agreement for the usage of school district owned equipment for the operation of the Delavan paddle sports program.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'm very happy to hear that we're entering into some of these agreements. I think they're long overdue, and it's going to make our city healthier.
Thank you to the school district. This is something similar that we've done in the past, but like some of the things last year, we had to forego this program, and it's back again this year. So thank you for the continued cooperation, as these are stated. Any other discussion? Seeing and hearing none, there was a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 9.3 is consider mayor's appointment of Joan Hay for a vacant position on the Aaron Public Library, a partial term ending July 1st, 2021. I'd entertain a motion of Joan Hay.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 10 is public comments. Citizens again may address the chair at this point of the meeting, and please limit your comments to once for no more than 2 minutes. We haven't public comments before, so we can move on. Item number 11 is suggested future agenda items. I don't know if there's any at this time, future agenda items. But if not, as always, if there's something that comes up, please reach out to myself or Brian or our city administrator. I'm happy to put it on for future discussion. With that, item number 12 is recess to closed session. 12.1 is pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 parent 1 parent E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session regarding the Walworth County Visitors Bureau Connect Communities Agreement. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. May we have a roll call?
Alderman Purcell.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dexter Brand.
Yes.
Alderman Plazak.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Solis.
Yes.
We'll take a 5-minute break, let the film break down and.
Brian, we'll see you in the morning for coffee. Elizabeth's, right? Perfect. And then did you get our SRO agreement signed by myself and the board yet?
Yes, actually,
Okay, okay, I'm just making sure that it made its way over here. Because our board agreed on it last Friday. Perfect. Sometimes after a board meeting, it just gets all handled and that's what I want. So, no, I'm sure he's got it. He's been in my office a couple times in the last few weeks, so. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Right.
You ready? Laura? Lord. 608
Mike.
0447.
Mike. I'm gonna end this meeting and send you a new invite so that it's an invite only you have for closed session.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I don't know.